A major effort is now underway to rebuild and recover across parts of the Midwest, devastated after Monday's powerful derecho. Our Justin Michaels is live this morning from Montour, Iowa. And Justin, listening to this morning, you're talking about all the corn lost there. The stalks have been blown down. Is there any way that could be used, maybe feed for animals or livestock?
Sure. I actually asked that specific question yesterday, Paul, and some of the farmers we talked to said a very small percentage may be able to be salvaged, but for the vast majority of what's laying over, and you're going to see this in just a moment, what's literally laying on its side, we're still talking about a multi-billion-dollar loss.
It went on for like 25 minutes. It just kept blowing and blowing, and you just kept waiting like, when's it going to stop?
Monday's derecho packed Category 3 hurricane force winds in excess of 100 miles per hour, and it spun up more than 20 tornadoes. Dave Bell lived through it in his office at this now dilapidated grain silo depot near Montour, Iowa.
Definitely in my 44 years of existence, the most intense storm I've ever seen.
Rain, nothing you can do about it. Mother Nature did its thing.
Dan and Deb Fetters have made a life on this land farming corn. Dan was home alone when the nightmare started.
The wind started changing directions every once in a while, so you didn't know if it was a tornado or if it was just straight line winds. But there's when whole chunks of buildings flying about 100 foot in the air above the house, sound like bombs going off when things hitting the house, trees snapping.
Meantime, Deb was at work in Marshalltown, about 7 miles away.
All of a sudden, one of the walls blew open, and I thought it was a tornado hitting, and I was running to the bathroom.
The line of severe weather left power lines down, structures damaged, and more than 10 million acres of Iowa corn and soybean crops devastated.
Whatever Mother Nature did before you picked up one stick to start the cleanup process, what was it like as you were walking around your property?
In shock. Looked like a war zone.
This is just a small piece of what is actually a 1,700-acre farm. Corn is the main product here, and you can see in just this small portion, it's completely laid to waste. Brown should be standing upright and green. Just like this one right here, this is a salvageable stalk of corn. Of course, there's one cob there, but take a look at the ground. These are all dead. This is going to be a complete loss, and when we say loss for this one farmer in this one small part of Iowa, this could be as much as a $2 million loss in crops.
The crops will be the biggest loss. And now that we're a month and a half away from harvest, and most all the elevators around here that we haul the grain to, they're all laying flat on the ground too. So if we do get the combine, it's going to be hard to find a place to take it to.
One of the places Dan would take his crops after harvest is Dave's grain silo depot, a facility now completely inoperable.
And we couldn't even hear all the bins going down because the wind was blowing so hard. You couldn't see even the light poles across the road. So it was.
So you're saying all this devastation to infrastructure, enormous metal silos being whipped around like toys, and the wind was so loud you didn't even hear it?
No.
And this is the same situation playing out for countless farmers and grain silo operators for hundreds of miles in America's heartland.
It was scary.
2 years after a big tornado came through Marshalltown, it's a little scary when something like that happens again.
And I'll tell you what, always looking for silver linings in bad situations. The best one we can find right now as people continue to clean up here, Felicia, is the fact that we have nothing but blue skies as this cleanup effort continues. But I know further east of here, that's a very different story.
Yeah, certainly the nicer weather helping with that cleanup, Justin. Thanks so much for showing that.